Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys swinging by the channel to check out today's video. Going to give you guys my first practice day report from up here at Lake of the Ozarks. We got our first BFL tournament of the year coming up this Saturday, the day after tomorrow, and today was my first practice day. It's sort of going to give you guys a rundown how it went and what my plan is for tomorrow on the last day of practice, and then leading up into the tournament. So get into that in today's episode here. Also, guys, before we get started, a quick reminder, if you guys are looking to get stocked up for your spring fishing season, Tackle Warehouse has got their big spring fishing sale going on right now. 25% off on a bunch of stuff on the website, most everything. I'll have my Tackle Warehouse link in this video description, and if you guys need tackle and you want to support Intuitive Angling, using a bookmark and my link to purchase your tackle through is a good way to help the channel, as the channel gets a small percentage of a commission on anything you buy there. Appreciate that. And as usual, guys, thank you very much for everybody that's taking time to subscribe here to the channel and join the memberships and Patreon. We really appreciate that. Me and my family definitely do. Okay, guys, I talked to you guys this morning. I did a little live YouTube video. I dropped Elijah off at school this morning, came up here, and got a chance to spend about probably 5 or 6 hours practicing today. And it was a beautiful day. I mean, it was like probably 70 degrees, windy as a mother. And one of the things that I can tell you about bass fishing, and I've done videos on this before, is anytime that you've got a unseasonably warm day like we have today here, and the water's still cold like it is now, water temperatures in the mid 40s here. There was some 48, the back of some pockets, but mid 40s for the most part. But when you get a nice day like we had today, fishing usually sucks, but simply because the fish don't react to the warm weather like you and I do. I mean, I'm sitting here right now, I got short sleeve shirt on, but the fish don't feel that. It's still 44-degree water for them, so they don't react the same. So our expectations about the bass being active on a warm day is not the reality of the situation. And that's what it was today, guys. I just straight up and tell you, it sucked for me today. I caught probably, 4 or 5 bass all day long. Super hard to get a bite. I know what's going on. I can promise you guys this is going to be a Spotlighters benefit tournament, because I ran shallow water, less than 10 foot deep most of the day, and there's just not hardly any bait up. It's like I found one cove that had a lot of bait in it, and that's where I caught the fish that I caught, along with some white bass in there. But other than that one cove, and it was probably sort of a wind generated deal, the bait is not in 10 foot of water. The bait's still out in the middle of the lake there. And in a real bass fishing tournament prior to the cheater box, the tournament would reflect that. In other words, when the fact that there's not a lot of fish up shallow right now, you'd have a tough tournament. It may take 12, 14 pounds to win the tournament 30 years ago here. But now, since we have the spotlighting machine, all those offshore fish are exploited in their deep water sanctuaries, and that's how the weights continue to remain high, even on a situation like this where the fishing should be pretty tough. So anyway, given that, I'm going to stay with it. I mean, like I said, this is the 4th year, guys, that I fished the BFLs, and of course I don't use the spotlight machine. And I finished in the top 15 in the points standings every single year, 4 years in a row, top 10, top 15, fishing shallow. And that's what I'm going to do tomorrow, the last day of practice and in the tournament. And what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to make an area adjustment. I'm going to go to a different part of the lake. A lot of times that's what it takes, because this early in the season like this, a lot of times there's some areas of the lake that are just on a little bit more, and some are a little tougher. So I'm going to flip-flop areas tomorrow, sort of see how that goes. But my whole thing here is the water, in my opinion, the water is just a little bit too cold for there to be a good cranking bite. I think that there could probably be one. I mean, there might be some fish to be caught on a crankbait somewhere. But for me, in order to have a chance to do good in this tournament, I'm going to have to catch them on a jerkbait, because the tournament we had here last year, it was the first part of March, and the water was about the same temperature. And I had 3 fish that weighed 15 pounds in the tournament, 3 big ones. So I'm going to keep looking for that type of water with the jerkbait, just in a different part of the lake. But I don't know, man. It's like there's so many stones that you can only unturn so many of them. It's like when you've only got a short practice period like I have for these tournaments, you can't do everything. It's like you can't go all over the lake. You can't fish every technique. you sort of have to land on what you think is the best water. So my plan tomorrow is to go to a different part of the lake. If that works out, great. If it doesn't, I'll probably start the tournament just practicing in even new water with that. So I have seen this before. It's like there's been very few tournaments I've ever fished, even this time of year, where even though the tournament will get dominated spotlighting here, there's usually always some sort of like anomalies, off the wall pattern that you can finish in the top 10 fishing shallow. So that's sort of what I got to look for, you know, tomorrow in the tournament. Super windy out today, guys. The wind's been blowing like 30 all day long here. So anyway, guys, that's the report that I'm going to give you guys here. Not much going on for the first day of practice. I'd rather catch them in the tournament any day than in practice. The worst thing that you can possibly do is win practice. And the thing about these tournaments is like practice, in the bigger picture, it's pretty much meaningless, but it does do a lot for your confidence and how you feel. It's amazing how much better you feel going into a tournament if you got a solid deal going on and you're catching some good fish. And it sucks if you're not catching crap, but in the reality, it doesn't matter because you got to catch them in the tournament and not in practice anyway. So, you know, guys, appreciate you following along. Thank you very much. I'll give you guys the second day practice report tomorrow, and we'll check in then.